Welcome to Having the Talk, where we have sex positive conversations so that you can have amazing sex, stronger relationships, and a more fulfilling life. If we've not met yet, then hi, big hello, my name's Jessica, and I am a sex educator. And today I'm going to be talking to you about you and who you are as the person that your parents made. I'm going to be talking about a sexual blueprint or a narrative, and those are both words that we use quite a lot in the world of sexology by coaches, educators and psychologists. And what it really means is what makes you who you are. It's the gathering of information to really look at who you are as a person. Now, you've probably heard that famous quote saying, "You don't know who you are or where you're going until you know who you've been or where you've been." Now, the same principle that works if it were to work in business or any other areas of your life. With sex, it's just as important. So, a full blueprint comes with lots of different parts and information that we put together. But for this process, we're going to be just talking about parents. So we're not talking about the DNA that your parents gave you, but the upbringing and their learnings and experiences, teachings, society's messages that they put onto you that made you the person that you are today. Now, I didn't really understand this myself very well until I did this work myself on me. And it was really interesting because where I came from what I would class as a inverted commas normal family. I had both parents, both worked, and we had a house which was mortgaged, we had yearly holidays, and everyone around me was in that same kind of situation. My friends, all their parents were together, they all had nice houses, and so when it came to my stereotypes, I didn't really understand what they might be. And it was really interesting to find out that those influences can actually really have an effect on your sex life and who you are as well. Now, I look back on that and realise that actually things like if someone didn't have a mortgage, then I looked at that as thinking that that was perhaps wrong. And if they were from a broken family, I felt sorry for them. And really, that was just a stereotype that was put on me from my learnings and my upbringings from my parents. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not parent bashing here, because actually this is a generation by generation issue. Everything's passed down, and when we don't talk about subjects, this is where it becomes particularly interesting when it comes to sex. We don't talk about these things. It means that those same messages, those same stereotypes are being passed down from generation to generation without us even realizing that it's happening. So, do our parents really affect our sex lives? And I'm going to tell you, absolutely. So, Esther Perel wrote in her book, Mating in Captivity, I say that wrong every time, there is no history with more lasting effect on our adult love than the one we write with our primary caregivers. Now, our parents and caregivers gave us an image of what love is all about through their actions towards us and the actions that we saw them giving with each other. And they also imparted their views, their religions, and as I mentioned before, all the other stereotypes that they received throughout their lives. So they really shaped who we are, and we also shaped how we felt about our bodies, our gender, our sexuality, and our expectations that we had for others. This has all been a massive influence and puts a lot of the expectations on us from how they were brought up and their own standing in society. So let me ask you a question. Do any of these hit home? So as a child, were you protected? Did you ever feel abandoned? Did you always have a feeling of just not being good enough? Did your parents and caregivers trust you? Did you get cuddles and physical affection? Could you talk to your parents and caregivers? Could you be upset with them? Could you argue with them? How did your parents act with each other? the questions can go on, but I hope you get the drift here, that the answer to these are creating the person that we are today. So why is this so important when it comes to sex? So in a relationship and when we're having sex, our guard comes down. So we relax, we can access more of our unconscious thoughts and the flow in our bodies. This can make for some amazing sexual experiences, but it can also open up the floodgates to let in those emotions and those things that we might have chosen to forget. And it really gives us a real charge of power. And if those powers are charging something that's negative, it can really affect how we see sex. The results of this could be that we don't enjoy sex, that we find sex associated with painful memories. We feel sex is a chore, and we don't pay attention to our partner's needs, and we don't talk to our partners about what our own needs are. So think of it like this. Someone who didn't receive physical affection, cuddles as a child, may find it difficult to receive those as an adult. But indeed, they also may go to the other extreme and crave them as an adult. Someone who felt abandoned by a caregiver can put those emotions on a partner, needing constant contact, reassurance from them. And again, likewise, at the other extreme, means that they can't form long-term relationships. All of this can be subconscious, and we don't even realise that it's going on. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, and just to say to you why this is so important. Why asking questions about yourself and about your own upbringing can really think about how we act and how we are in our world today. So some will be good, some will be bad, but knowing is the really important thing to really make a change in the future if that's what you want to do. So let's recap. Parents and caregivers, unwittingly in most cases, shape how we see the world. We often don't realise because we don't take the time to actually look at ourselves that deeply. And when we know more information, we can make wiser and more fulfilling decisions. So your next steps, in the description of this video, you'll find a link with some of the questions that I've mentioned here and a few more for you to perhaps sit down and answer for yourself. Now, the only thing I'm going to ask you is to be as honest as possible. No one needs to see this, and this isn't about being horrible or picking on anyone. This is about you getting it out and writing it down and seeing actually where you came from. So click on the link below and give them a go. Spend some time on it, really think about it, and have a look to see if there's any patterns or anything that really flags up for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the content and you would like to see more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and you'll get notified as and when I upload new videos. So big hugs, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.